Alright, hey guys. So, playing the same deck again. Gonna play a few more matches. So, we're actually in one right now. Where, we have, looks like lost the die roll. We've also lost on drawing a good hand, but what can you do? Mulligan? No, I don't think so. He's going to 6 on the play. I think this hand is perfectly fine. Double Gray Merchant in the opener is not what I'd call exciting, but Chipping Rats is excellent. Chipping Rats is our best creature, and it's unlikely we lose. Ooh, Sign of Blood was a great draw. It's less good, being that we didn't get to go on the play, but card advantage is nice wherever you can get it. I have a stop set on my upkeep because I was playing Delver. Don't stop on my turn, please. Yeah, I was playing some Delver and I needed one there, but now it's just super annoying. Our opponent, Tron. I don't know why I play against so many Tron decks. Yeah, Prophetic Prism, you have got it. So our current hand not set up well to deal with Tron. We have no duress effect of any kind. We have no real removal to speak of. So if he ever assembles Tron and attacks us with something huge, we're just gonna die. That's fine. That said, it looks like he's pretty far away because he chose to play a Shimmering Grotto at some point. You know, usually we just want to play a Tron piece if you had it. But it looks like he found a mine, or found the power plant rather, and he's got the expedition map to find the last piece. Awkward that we can Chitterrat him here. He can just sack his expedition map to shuffle away whatever card from his hand. So it's basically just like we made him discard a card. He doesn't actually have to spend the time redrawing it, which is the best part about Chitterrats. You really forcing them to lose the random card off the top of their deck. Not crazy, but the fact that they have to draw it again next turn, it's just so much tempo. It feels so good. It's so brutal. If you don't know why it's cool, I'm not going to explain it to you. Go read a book. Oop, what have we got? He's got the full Tron assembled, Mole Drifting. All right, I can live with that. We're not just dead, but it's a good indicator that we're dead. I don't know why I've seen so many Tron decks in the last few days. I don't think that indicates anything about the format. Just a weird run of luck, I guess. Well, that's a pretty good draw. Would we rather do that or... I think we'd rather Quambai Witches into Sign in Blood. And have that for potential Gray Merchant next turn. Definitely not attacking this Moldrifter. Let's get a signal to him that we have Gray Merchant, but spoiler alert, we're playing mono black. We have Gray Merchant. I don't know if he thought it through, but black decks have Gray Merchant. He appears to be playing a real deck, so I'm going to assume he's not a stranger to Pauper. I say he, could be a she. You never know. You just never know these days. So what have you got? What have you got? We certainly have a hand chock full of action, but our opponent still has a few cards. And any of those could be Crusher. We haven't seen any indicators of red mana, so it doesn't look like he's on Rolling Thunder. However, he also hasn't really Reaping So. Okay, that's certainly a real thing. That's pretty brutal. I would never think to play that. Obviously, this is a card that has been in Tron decks for a while, but I would not really recommend, I guess. 9 out of 10 would not recommend. Where are we at? Where are we at? Oh, yeah. So back to what I was saying. He's on like the eggs list, so before he played Reap and Sow showing us the green, I would have just assumed he was on green anyway because he has these sackable artifacts, which work well with Fangren Marauder, which is of course a green creature. And Tron decks tend to fall into that category where like you're either green blue or you're blue red. We got another chromatic sphere. I would not be too afraid of a Fangren Marauder here. Our hand is better set up to deal with a Fangren Marauder because the serrated arrows will shrink it down into a range where we can actually trade off some amount of things for it. Whereas if he has Crusher, we need to draw a removal spell immediately, and there's no way around it. So he attacks, which is kind of like a free roll, so why wouldn't he? We draw our second, fifth land, and advance to the smashing phase. I'm gonna do this play and give him a chance to block. I don't think that this, the few points of damage that we take off Quambai Witches is really going to matter this game. If you lose to Tron, it's usually because you let them go big, like you didn't have an answer, to whatever their big time play was. Here, I'm gonna get that going. Rager. See what we draw. Most likely we're gonna be, yeah, okay. We're gonna be unearthing chittering rats, which always feels good. Basically, if it feels bad for the opponent, it feels good for us. Boom, boom. Alright. Yeah. So basically we, traded up on cards. Sort of traded down on board, but we ended up with the chittering rats in play anyway, so no real loss for us. Yeah, here we have Fangren Marauder, which again I'm fine with. It's like that we haven't actually been able to get through any damage yet. Oh, wowie zowie. Fangren Marauder and Crusher in the same turn. Well, we're probably dead. Opponent out of gas, but none of the gas that we have is gonna mean anything. It just, where's the value? Oh, swamp, horrible. Yeah, we have to just hope that we just draw running Gray Merchants and can just get there several times in a row. This is pretty brutal. This is a tough way to lose Tron. Where like our deck is so full of these interactive cards. We have answers to their creatures. We have duress to take away key pieces of their, mana assembly, if you will. But we just didn't have any of that. All we did this game was basically sign in blood and play a bunch of derpy creatures that are now just going to get sacked to an Annihilator trigger. That's tough. And obviously we have a lot of ground to cover in terms of life totals if we actually want to win this game. Active Fangren Marauder just makes it so tough to burn them out with Grey Merchant. Can't really imagine us winning this game, but since we're here for fun anyway, might as well finish the game out. It's going to be pretty academic from here. He doesn't even have to. I mean, Crusher attacks by itself. It's like you don't have to do anything. He's just in full autopilot mode now. But I don't know if I've talked about this before, but I do like our matchup against Tron in general. like I said about the, having removal is very good. Obviously, you need to draw said removal, but that's fine. What am I gonna do here? Swamp Rager, I think, are gonna be my annihilatees. I'm gonna take the damage and just play another Grain Merchant next turn. Oh, sick! Yes, excellent. That was a great draw. Obviously, this takes precedence because it actually gives us a way to answer Crusher. And we haven't seen like a Haunted Fingraph or anything yet, but Oubliette just puts the brakes on that nonsense. Never goes to the graveyard, can't get it back. And most of the time, you will not see even post-sideboard decks having an answer to Oubliette. White decks will have Oblivion Ring, sometimes multiples of it, but Ray of Revelation also exists, I guess, but usually Oubliette's pretty safe. It just is gonna stay. Do we want to go to 7 here? We can trade. We can trade. We can trade. I don't hate that. I don't hate like running the double block with Chittering Rats, Grey Merchant, and then shooting the Fangry Marauder with Quambai Witches. We go to 7, trade Rats for Fangry Marauder. That's got to be pretty good, right? Obviously, if he has something that makes this bad, I guess, yeah, that's fine. Go nuts. Yeah, I'm willing to do this in the absence of having another removal spell. So it's not the best, it's not really keeping up with card economy here, but now his board is much more manageable. Now we're in a position where we can start attacking, and we have another Grey Merchant to sort of get us back in the life total game. And even though we just pitched a whole lot of devotion, this Grey Merchant is still for a very large number. This Grey Merchant would be for 8. God, Grey Merchant is just so crazy. But back to talking about the matchup. Oh, Mountain. Mountain signals Rolling Thunder, which is now live. He now has 2 red sources. Are we dead to Rolling Thunder? Why attack if you have Rolling Thunder? So he probably doesn't have it. You could have any number of other red spells. I'm not going to list them off here. Firebolt, sure. Totally reasonable. Yeah, but the matchup in general, I think, is good, and it gets better even, I think, post-sideboard, because we can just bring in a lot more removal, and they only have a few threats. Like, they're already playing about as many Crushers and Fangry Marauders as you can reasonably stick into a deck without being totally insane, and we'll just have more removal than they have threats, which is always a position that I like to be in with the mono black deck. Like, just have an answer for everything they have. You have plenty of ways to get card advantage. You have plenty of ways to keep your life total healthy. Just get into a long, grindy game, draw a few extra cards, and win later. And that's saying something, because who's going bigger than Tron? Like, if you're playing Tron, you should be advantaged in the late game, right? Ancient Stirrings is an excellent draw for him. Gonna signal, the next Crusher. Hopefully he just whiffs and hits a land. But he's already not like in a bad spot. Pretty much any threat is kind of bad for us here. Ooh, Prophetic Prism. Nice. That's pretty good for us. But next turn with double arrows, Fangry Marauder is not like safe. We can arrow it down to 4, untap, arrow it down to like 3, and then play another serrated arrows and just like threaten to kill it on board. That's pretty weird. It's an unlikely series of events. Who plays around the second serrated arrows? Is it you? Is it you? Rahele? Really? Really? I apologize. Just it's that 1:30 Saturday AM morning crew, you know, you find in the Pauper queues. Really? Shout out to however you pronounce your name. What's really good? So, as you can see here, we're back into the realm of like real life totals, which feels pretty good. Opponent gained approximately 1,000 life throughout the course of this game, and we're back down to a much more manageable 12. We're going to address see nothing but lands, which is fine. And yeah, I like our spot here. Pretty commanding board position. We were able to draw a removal spell for Crusher, and even with multiple, he had Seagate Oracle, Muldrifter, multiple cards that drew him cards. We just have more of that. We have more card advantage. Ooh, Corrupt for the finish. Finisher. Here's the point where I would expect him to chump block if you're going to. It's interesting that Colony Garden is even in his deck. I'm not sure. Usually when you see Colony Garden, it's for like some kind of tricky stuff, you know. Sure, blocks, yeah. This is like a smoke card to me. Like when you see it, you can expect something slightly crazier. But I guess this is not the board state where you want to get creative. He needs to find some real answers really fast. Rolling Thunder certainly does it. Like Rolling Thunder leaves us 2 points short of a Corrupt and back in top deck mode. We're probably just actually dead to a Rolling Thunder. I haven't counted up his lands, so I don't know for sure. Somewhere in like the 300 to 400 mana range. He firebolts our creature and doesn't immediately kill us, so I would expect we're going to win this game. Doesn't appear like he has counter spells. Okay. More fire. Oh, firebolt to the face. That's. Oh, no, just doing it for fun. Okay. Well, let's get her done. This is probably game over. Ding. To the dome. What's up? Corrupt going upstairs. Ding a ding ding a ding a ding ding ding. Ding ding a ding a ding ding. Alright, we got the game. That was a long, drawn out game one. But sometimes that's good because I think the grindier games get, the more that we're favored. I actually don't like Geth's Verdict here because he's got goofy creatures to sack to it like Seagate Oracle and Muldrifter, which are certainly real cards, but we want all of our removal spells to be able to hit the relevant targets, and in this case that means Crusher. I don't think we need Unearths, really. It's possible that he's going to be bringing in removal for us, in which case Unearth will get much better, but I think we'd rather have Duress. Serrated Arrow is also pretty bad. Spinning Darkness isn't bad. Yeah, I get into this question a lot where like I don't really like my sideboard against Tron. I think that games favor us post sideboard, but mainly because of Victimonite, where like we're just all in on the strength of having a terror effect. So like their deck wins when they play Crusher and keep it in play. Victimonite stops them from doing that. But the rest of our cards are exceedingly mediocre. I don't think I want to overload on Spinning Darkness, and our life total doesn't matter that much. So like the gaining 3 off Spinning Darkness isn't that cool. I think we're gonna go with the Geth's Verdicts and a Pestilence. Pestilence is not fantastic in this matchup, but it does give us a way to trade life points. Oftentimes we can get out to a faster start or get into a situation where Gray Merchant has given us a healthy life total and it's acceptable to just both of us take one. That's fine. And we can, keep it in play with a large toughness creature and use it to deal a lot of points of damage straight to the opponent. Our hand is very good. Oh, crap. Why am I so bad at this game? That's a good question. So obviously, I meant to keep that 7 because it was good. It had a 2-3-4 curve with some of our better cards. Witches is not insane in this matchup, but it does build devotion very quickly. The 6-card hand is much, much worse. Not to put too fine a point on it, but it's still not horrible. I've seen worse misclicks. We get the duress here. Firebolt is not a good duress target, but it's better than nothing, I guess. So our opponent's hand is Montana, Bolt, Fangren Marauder, Tower. Dang. Oracle. Just opponent. When the opponent has just the natural Tron, it is so tilting. So tilting. How am I supposed to win if he gets to draw Tron naturally? Ooh, Sign of Blood is exactly what we need to turn this hand into a big hot pile of garbage. And now it's a real hand. Now suddenly, real. We're going to play some Magic. Ooh, awesome. That's much better for us than just playing Rager. Because like we know he's color screwed right now. He can't play anything in his hand because he doesn't have a colored mana source. But this is going to keep it that way. Like I don't care about Firebolt. Like if he wants to Firebolt rats, go nuts. He can do that as many times as he wants. What I'm worrying about is him getting a green source or, additional lands plus Crusher to go on that plan. Yeah, perfectly acceptable. We have more where that came from. Our deck is just literally filled to the brim with 3-drops that generate card advantage. So he can do this as many times as he wants. He's not going to win that game. No deck can beat us in card advantage. Even this trade, like if this is a removal spell that can kill 2 things, that's really good. This is going to eat a removal spell and one of his real cards. Not like the last half of a flashback, a real literal card. So there's also this competition of card quality that I think we're winning dramatically. Oh, wow. This is kind of awkward. I don't want to just play these Gray Merchants, like for 2, 4, and 6, but we might have to. We don't really have another plan right now. Ooh. Can I just draw Oubliette, please? One time, Oubliette off the top. Wow, yeah, we're losing this game pretty hard. There you have it. Crusher, that is. If you can't answer Crusher, you can't beat Tron. So from here on out, we have to get lucky. No way around it. Definitely accidentally mulliganing our hand at the beginning of the game. That's not how you want to start out. If you want to be a good moto grinder, you need to minimize the number of times that you do that thing. Luckily, stuff like this only happens to me at 2 in the morning. Oh man. Not blocking. We want the devotion. We can afford to pitch those lands because not only that, not only do we have more of them in hand, we can go straight back to 5 mana here. Chittering Rats is a good draw, but not the best draw. I would have rather seen any removal spell, basically. Geth's Verdict obviously doesn't get it done here, and that's why I was, went on that little rant in sideboarding. This board state, Geth's Verdict just doesn't do enough. It just takes away a Seagate Oracle, and what, we get to attack for 4? Not too thrilled about that. And here, we're just dead. Like, he's got many more points of burn in hand, so it's possible that a Crusher, or excuse me, a removal spell for the Crusher is just too late at this point. Yeah. The Silver Lining, I guess, will be on the play for game 3, where we will not accidentally mulligan. We will keep a good hand. Knock, knock. And we will win the match, because that's how good we are. Alright, confirmed he has Rolling Thunder. Not that that's a big surprise. Alright, so on the play, Geth's Verdict is much better, because you can answer their threats one by one, pretty much guaranteed, while also pressuring them. We saw he has a high concentration of removal. So I think that we want to take out this Pestilence. Yeah, we can just get that out of our deck. Maybe we want to bring in the Unearths. If he's going to try and get us, per se, with Firebolt. Oh, we need another card. Submit. Tried to submit a 59 card deck. I would like to play first. Would I like to mulligan? Meh! No, not really. I don't. Okay, well that makes it better. I'm gonna say I don't really like our hand, but it's not bad. We have, a draw spell and 2 removal spells, perfectly acceptable. Qualm Witches vastly improves it though, because that allows us to put down at least some pressure and build our devotion. So I like drawing that. The second one, meh. Also not great, pretty mediocre. Oh wow. When your Tron opponent keeps a 1-lander. Something tells me you don't want to do that. I've not played much Tron, but that doesn't seem like a good idea.